right now. So it's all about the road to success. So we're talking about Paul Ryan Francis Henriques, OD. Of course, is an international Grammy-winning dancehall DJ who is regarded as one of the genre's most prolific artists. He has collaborated with the likes of Beyonce, Rihanna, Sia, Tove Lo, Keyshia Cole, and countless others. Now, in 2019, Paul was conferred with the Order of Distinction in the rank of Commander Class by the Jamaican Government for his contribution to the global popularity and promotion of reggae and dancehall music. Of course, joining us right now via telephone, Dirty O. Sean, are you with us?
Good.
Yeah, I can't hear you. Say that again. So we check the levels.
Hello?
Yeah, we're hearing you. We're hearing you loud and clear.
What's up?
Of course, you don't know. Today we journey with Paul on the road to success, and thank you so much for agreeing to come on and sharing your story with us. We're really looking forward to taking this journey with you.
Thank you for having me. I've always been a fan of IRIE FM from the first summer that you were testing out, and so I'm always willing to give my time and for a great cause like this. So thank you.
And thank you too. Now, what better way to kickstart than just to start from the foundation? Now, what was life like for Paul Francis Henriques growing up as a child in St. Andrew?
A lot of people think that it was just a cushy lifestyle. I went to one of the most expensive schools, but it wasn't a cushy lifestyle. My father had been in prison many times, and my mother was a struggling businesswoman, I would say. She's an artist. So she and him had a screen printing company. They used to print shirts for Stone Love, the People Sound, So it wasn't as cushy as people might think. I mean, every time when everybody said, uptown youth coming out of business and thing, it seemed like to people that I was one of the rich kids, that have a lot of privileges. Now, I did have privileges being uptown, not coming from a ghetto area. That is a privilege in itself. Not disrespecting anybody, what I was saying. There were hard times and there were things that I had to face that pressured me personally and made me into a diamond, you know what I mean? So, there was times where, going to school, in the car had a big hole like Fred Flintstone in it. Some foot them could have touched the ground. I know enough people that have car like that. And when it rained, you have to put a piece of board there and things like that. So it wasn't a rich lifestyle, but I can't say I was abject poor. I can just say that we had our struggles and, went through it. I found a love for reggae and dancehall music at a young age, probably 9, 10 years old, starting to hear certain songs that, 1980, 81, Michigan and Smiley, Mind Jaliki with Diseases. I just found that I was gravitating more towards that. My mother would play me the Beatles and Neil Diamond and even Bob Marley, and give me these different musical influences. But I started to gravitate towards the way I heard my friends speak to me, which is dancehall music especially. So that kind of gave me a love for it at first. You know what I mean?
Let's talk about, did you have siblings growing up, and were your parents the strict type?
Yeah, I had siblings growing up, a younger brother who he's from the age of 10, probably acted like the older brother for me in terms of more mature and made certain decisions to help me out in my career over the years as well. He's right now part of my management team, produces with me, and does many different things for my career. My parents weren't strict in terms of, getting a whole heap of beating for certain things. I more got a lot of talking to. I get, a lot of reasonings, and I think that was that's a great thing for parents to do. And to do that, you have to have patience because I have kids now, and sometimes I feel like just take out the belt. Really.
Yeah.
But the reasoning, I think, got my mind to expand, to grow, to understand right from wrong, to understand positive from negative, a lot more than just getting a beatings. I did get beatings, but it wasn't a strict household like that. My father was a bit of a gangster at times. He crash out ganja playing in the Everglades.
Whoa.
You know, he had been through problems before that, going to jail for robbing home electrics, which was part of his family, part of his family's thing. But before all of that, he was a swimmer for Jamaica national team in the 60s, and my mother as well. Both of them were champions, got gold medals a lot, and subsequently started to teach swimming when I was a kid. So I always had that swimming thing too, and started to swim for Jamaica about age 12, 13, and play water polo as well. So there was discipline there, but it wasn't a discipline where, as you say, beatings and them kind of thing. There was more talking to, and then I got a lot of discipline from the swimming. You know what I mean?
Tell us about that period of your life when you were into swimming. You actually excelled, and like you mentioned, water polo, and even played for the Jamaica national team. Take us to that period and what it did for you as a person, because like you mentioned, just like so many other sporting activities, these forms of discipline are very necessary.
Yeah, I think that sports in general for kids, because they have so much energy, one, and two, it does teach you to set goals and accomplish them. You know what I mean? So growing up, as I said, my parents would teach swimming, and every summer I would be there. They would throw me in the pool to show the kids that are afraid. And see, the little boy, I can do it too, and swim around and things. I never took it serious until I was about 12 years old. I actually started to play water polo with my father and his age group. So I got a lot of beating up there. And then I decided to start swimming for a coach who my mother had coached when he was young. And his name is Andrew Phillips. And he went to the Olympics for Jamaica in 1984. I believe he came sixth. And it was a big accomplishment for us at the time. And so I looked up to him, and the swimming community and water polo community is rather, I would say, close-knit. So I looked up to him for that, and I wanted to also try to go to the Olympics. So I started to train with this team, which was called Flying Fish Ambassadors. And I swam, I would say I swam until I was about competitively in Jamaica and for Jamaica until I was about 18 years old. I went to Barbados to swim, Trinidad to swim.
Whoa.
Orlando. We had little trips like that we went and did. And of course, the boys champs them every year, and different swimming championships that we have that don't have nothing to do with school. I made Keyshia Games 2 times. Keyshia Games, yeah man, I have a bronze medal in Keyshia, for Keyshia Games, for backstroke and a relay event. So, with swimming, as I said, and with most sports, you get a discipline where you set a goal, you want to make this time by so-and-so, and the coach tell you, well, if you want to make that time by the CISC championship or the Keyshia championship, you're going to have to do this amount of training. So, I don't know if people ever know the stadium pool, but one length is 50 meters, so 2 length is 100 meters. And my training would consist of doing 5,000 meters a day.
Whoa.
On the hard days, it would be 7,000 to 9,000 meters. 1,000 meters is like 20 laps. So it's a lot of swimming and a lot of discipline.
And dedication.
Yeah, man. And most of my friends came from the pool. They would go to different schools, Woolmans, Campion, Georges, Immaculate. But all of us would get at the pool and, just become friends, and we're on the same team. Even competitive teams, we're all friends, as I said. Swimming is a close-knit environment, especially in Jamaica. So, as I said, that was my life for a while, you know. And during that time, I was 13 years old. My father went to prison. He got 15 years, and he spent 6.
Wow.
Got out on a good behavior and appeal kind of thing. It was on at GP, and so the swimming made me try to make him proud by doing more. He was a swimming champion, so I wanted him to hear about me too. And I remember one across the harbor that I swam. I was 13 that year, and I came 13th. We swim from the right by the airport there. I think it's Fisherman's Beach or Gunboat Beach. And we used to dive in, swim across to where say the what you call it now, the whole the harbour front in Kingston. I forget the name of the road. There used to be a Pelican Grill there and all of that. So anyway,
you swimming from there.
I remember that he got a special permission to stand up in a certain place where he could see the water. And you know, he was rooting for me, even though he never know which one was me.
Yeah.
And so that kind of made me feel proud that he heard of my escapades there, and I always continued to try and make him and my mother proud. Them being champions, you know what I mean. So as I say, the highest level I went to was Carifta Games, and I was one in 1989, which I catch meningitis from over Barbados, and
whoa.
Spent 2 weeks in hospital in Jamaica back after that with a crazy headache. And then our next one in 1992, I believe it was, in Bahamas. So those were the pinnacle of my swimming years, I guess you could say. Also played water polo in Central American Games and Junior Pan Am Games. One was Puerto Rico and one was in Mexico. So it was, as I say, a big part of my life and a big part of helping me to become the disciplined person that I am today.
And during that period of your life, there was no thought of music or anything. You're just focused on swimming and thought this could be a career, the future for Sean Paul.
Yeah, I really thought I was going to the Olympics. However, at about 15 years old, I also started to get a love for music. I had seen a love for music more than just listening to it and being a fan. I wanted to get involved, and I had seen Steely and Cleve, God rest Steely Soul, somebody who I credit as one of the masters who made dancehall music what it is today. A producer who taught me a lot. But even being a kid at 15 years old, I saw them on TV saying how they're using computers and keyboards to kind of make this music now. And it enthused me so much. I would check my mom's and say, "Mommy, need a keyboard now." And she's like, "Hey, go to music lesson," and struggle and pay money for me to go to music lesson. And I really didn't like it because they were teaching me maths in the music lesson, and I didn't understand what. I need to know what's the quarter note and take away from. And looking back at it now, I feel like I should have really paid attention and stuck with it longer. I only did that for one term and dropped out. And I still beg her for this keyboard. And Marcus Garvey building around by New Kingston, they used to have a flea market in there every Sunday. And one of the Sundays we walk around there, and she would say a Yamaha keyboard with a nice little cracky night, so it was a little less. And it have a 4-section drum machine on it, and beg her for buy it for me, and she bought it. She never tell me, and she gave me for my Christmas. And after that, it was me feeling at about 15, 16, 17 that I was going to be a producer, and just building back every rhythm that I heard on the radio, every rhythm that was on the popular dancehall cassettes that I used to listen to. You know, Metro Media and Stone Love and Silver Hawk and all these songs, and you know, starting to kind of write lyrics myself, but not really taking it serious, because we used to do it on the school desk back at school in Wilmers. I also went to Hillel High School and Bel Air, and we used to just beat on the desk and people DJ for 3 or 4 lines, And then I actually saw a brethren of my own, Dan Youth, whose name was Jason Williams, and he was the table tennis champion for Wolmer's and for Jamaica at a certain point in his life. So him being a champion of sports and me as well, and him stepping into that arena really enthused me and encouraged me and inspired me. And for him to be hanging out with people like Frisco Kid and Spragga Benz was just something that I just looked up to. So I have to credit him for kind of getting me inspired at first, and then even getting me into the business. I would follow him around to certain studios which I didn't know where they were. And he would take me here and there. So I slowly started to move from the swimming, and especially about age 17, 18, a lot of my friends went away to school, went to college. My family really didn't have the funds to fund something abroad in college, and I never knew what I wanted to do here. I never knew what I wanted to do. So being that most of my friends started to go away, I started to do less of the swimming and more of the musical thing them. So I found myself at University of
College of Arts, Science and Technology.
That was CAS, which is now called UTech. And I got in trying to see if I was good at TD, technical drawing. And I was trying to be an architect at the time. Didn't have the grades to do that. And so they put me in hotel management, food and beverage and hotel management. And when I got into that class, there was 80 ladies in my class. So I kind of just decided, yo, I'm going to stay right or so. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was an encouragement there. But during all those times, I was leaving the college in the evenings and going to swim training, and then leaving swim training and go to the studios. I'd meet up with different people and just sit down like a fly on the wall. I've watched Beenie Man Voice in them years there. I used to stand up and watch Bunty Killer outside the studio with a bag of people gather around him and telling stories, and everybody laugh. So these guys were literally probably my same age, but they were big men to me in terms of I was nothing, you know what I mean, in that world, and wanted to be something. So I would sit down and watch them voice, listen to the producers talk to them, and start getting our vibes. And then slowly but surely, at age 17, 18, start to turn into the artist more. And I think I wrote my first song them around that time and didn't get my first recording done till Third World, which is my father's brethren was Cat Core. They grew up together. And big up to Third World and everybody in that whole band. They encouraged me, took me to Jack Scorpio studio one evening, and I had my mother calling around at about 2:30 in the morning to everybody's house one day, and where's our son? That was in the week, and Cat answered the phone down there and telling, yeah man, I'm good man, and we were recording a dancehall version of the song, Now That We Found Love, their song. I think it did come out on an album that they had put out, or maybe it was Bunny Ruggs' album at the time. R.I.P. to Bunny Ruggs.
Definitely.
But then at that time I met Jack Scorpio and started to meet, as I said, more and more people in the business. And then I started to do an open mic thing at a brethren. A brethren used to keep a little Friday night thing. Where he used to play a guitar and my brother would play bass and the next man play drums, and whoever want to come sing, like a karaoke thing. But
yeah.
So I decided to say I had a song which I liked, and I wanted for them, I wanted to try it out there in that crowd. And while everybody was there singing songs like Purple Rain by Prince and different type of things, me come on with my lyrics now, and people like, wow, who this brother? So then from there now, I kind of got in touch with let me see now. All right, so this open mic thing was Rupert Bent. Rupert Bent is a great guitarist, and he plays with Third World right now, but he also was the leader of my band when I became what I became after a while.
You're talking to us about going to this little place to record where they had an open mic
Yeah.
and getting your your
So,
flavor.
and so Rupert then now had a little studio and said, come and record this song that you keep coming and singing every week. Now, at the time, I was being heavily influenced by what Buju was doing. Till Shiloh album had just dropped. And also Cableton had quite a few conscious songs that he had started to do. And so I was doing conscious lyrics. My first song was called Ghetto Story. And it was about the differences between uptown and downtown and how we are one country and it shouldn't be that way. So then I recorded it for Rupert Bent, and just so happened that his sister was Shaggy's dancer at the time. And Shaggy was big with Wasn't Me and not Wasn't Me. He had Mr. Boom.
Basti.
And he had come up to the studio where the studio was to see a routine that the girls had put together for one of the songs. And his manager came and heard the song. And said, yo, his manager was Robert Livingston at the time. And Robert Livingston used to manage Super Cat and say, yo, it sound like Cat. And to me that was what can I say, a very big compliment, because to me Super Cat and Shabba Ranks was the thing. You know what I mean? And I used to emulate all the songs when we used to beat on the school desk. It's their songs I was singing back and mix their melodies with my lyrics type of thing. So when he heard it, he said, you know, I'm going to produce this song for you. So he actually did a rough copy and print a couple of things. And at that time in my life, too, I was listening to a lot of Cutting Edge, Amuta Baruka.
What?
Yeah, man. And, you know, this man was teaching me things that I had so much respect for. Because, again, it might have been breaking the norm of what I was used to hearing. And showing me a different light and a different outlook on life.
Whoa.
So I figured that this conscious song that I had now, I wanted him to get it. So I went to his bookshop in New Kingston at the time, and I sat down there. The door was locked, so I know nobody was there, and then some people was around the yard and said, yeah man, Muta soon come. And I'm forwarding now, and I get up the courage now for us. Walk up to him right as him open the door and say, Muta, good evening, I'm an artist and I have this one record. I just wanted you to hear it and get your opinion.
What Muta said?
Him say, all right.
Oh, wow.
You listen it.
Yeah.
Take it and so this was time when, you know, Cutting Edge was Thursday night, and I think it started 11 o'clock at night. And so that night now, I go home and swim training done, and I'm there at home, I do my homework. And I say, blow it, you don't forget, say, Muta is on now. So I run to the radio, and literally, nah, tell no lie, as I turn on the radio, I almost feel like it was a trick. As I turn on the radio,
yeah,
I hear him say, well, this youth is a youth, you know, where him have a song where it's bad, just listen. And he played it.
Yeah.
He's the first person to ever play me on the radio. And of course, 11 o'clock at night, my little brother asleep, my mother asleep. And me I run around and try to tell somebody. And there was nobody to tell.
Oh.
But I was so proud that it was IRIE FM and it was Muta that did play my first song. As I said, I got introduced to a whole lot more people. And then the link up at Too Hard Records happened because one of the producers from that thing, he was a brethren of mine, but he didn't know I was DJing. And so Zachary Hardin saw me and said, yo, my brother named Jeremy, him doing producing, and come up to the studio and let's hear what you have. Because he saw me at the open mic thing. And I went up there and, you know, started to do little dub plates up there. And I met up with Dadigan, who was a next influence for me. Dadigan had a crew named Dirty Cup Crew. He was from Sandy Park and Standpipe area. And, you know, he was somebody who, as I said, was more experienced in the whole game to me. And kind of took me under his wing. At the same point in time, my brother was linking up with kids from school and the neighborhood from a younger age still, and they used to play out with a sound system called Copper Shot sound system. So Copper Shot sound system now started to acquire dubs from people, and I was like, I want the dubs for them too. And so they kind of helped me, my little brother, and you know, Copper Sean and the whole group helped me to kind of step up onto that level to let people start hearing me more than so. I forget in a stage I have to big up Carrot Jarrett because he did a song with me, a Bob Marley song called Nice Time, and this was after I linked with Cat Core and thing. We did over Bob Marley Nice Time, and I was DJing in that song. There's a small video for it too, a little video that we did. But after that time, as I said, I link up with Jeremy Harding, start doing dubs for Copper Shot, doing dubs for Renaissance, and getting my name out there. And basically after that, it started by whirlwind because people was like, oh, Super Cat, no, who this, a Uptown Sensation. And that's what I was called for a minute. And I can tell you, it's been a whirlwind since then. It's been history since then, and I've not looked back. I've just tried to keep. When I first did that song, I wondered how much songs were left in me, how much more I could make. And so, when Jeremy Harding had a juggling called Fearless, he gave it to me, gave the rhythm to me, and said, "See what you come up with." And I went back the next day and said, "I have this tune." And said, "Baby girl, don't cry no more." Tell me, say you can't take it. And he was like, "Yo, I think that's the best song I ever heard you sing. Come in, youth, and record." And by I would say Christmas 1996 is when that song dropped. And for me, going into a dance and hearing the song drop and hearing a bugger people a bus shot, blah blah blah, and pull up and gone back again, out play back again. I was like, I was astonished. You know what I mean? I was like, boy, this really happened. You know what I mean? So I always remember those years with fondness because, as I say, it was just a group of young youth that are gonna let me in this group called Dirty Cup. And you know, R.I.P. to Daddy Gun as well, man. One of my mentors as a youth who's my own age, but was so much more experienced than me. And yeah, I'm big up to Copper Shot, who started off the whole dub plate thing for me and got me to a level where I was able to start trying to go to these studios that I saw Dan Youth going to and trying to present myself as an artist and say, yo, you know, give me some rhythm. So the first song that came out was Baby Girl, which was my own song and not something that I was featured on, and not just a test print that I given to Muta. And I think Muta alone have it and played it. I don't think there was much more prints after that. But the first song, the real official release, was the Baby Girl. 96. And then, as I said, I start getting, you know, people barbecue and people, you know, just little dances. I would go to Standpipe and all about the place.
What was your thinking at that period when, you know, mid-90s, you infiltrate the business, you know, 1998 with that 1998 hit, and then you talk about 96 with the single Baby Girl, and listening to you talk now, like you were basically just trying to get to go on rhythms. But did you think or focus that, you know, you wanted the niche to be a strong female base? What was the thinking? What
No. To tell the truth, at that time I was trying to be the conscious artist, and I had
still
quite some. And it's really still look for me and say, yo, you thief a boy girl when you go dance, and you want to sing with yo.
yeah.
Joke with me and say, no man, you know, people, when people look for you, them see the girls vibes and them see the party thing, and that's if you DJ more than what you do, because you're not doing it better than Tony Rebel or Caperton or Bujo or, you know. So I took the advice and with a heavy heart, because I really wanted to come and say something in the society. But then I kind of got more and more into it because I was getting so much energy from it. You know what I mean? First of all, the ladies, and then. So, you know, just being popular and the play out and certain money start to come to you now, and you get called from booking agents, and it's like a whirlwind time, as I said. So reluctantly, I went into doing more songs about women. And if you check it out, like Baby Girl Don't Cry No More was about, a girl getting beat, getting abused, and I was trying to be there for her. And then Infiltrate was a song saying, that women want a firm man in their life, you know what I mean? They don't want a fenke man kind of thing. So I was kind of being conscious with those. And then one day I did a song for Penthouse Recording. Donovan Jermaine had a rhythm that Tony Kelly had hit, and it was a song called Nah Get No Bly. And Nah Get No Bly had a host of different, Tantan Devante was on that rhythm, and Beanie Man was on the rhythm, and so it was a real good look for me to be on that rhythm as well. And I remember Tony Kelly see me at Penthouse studio one day and say, "Yo, are you him, sir? Yo, I got record, I have a wicked song. I mean, do Get a Red Hot." I was like, great, Tony Kelly. You can't tell me nothing when me know you. So he recorded a song for me called Deport Them. And then now I had like 4 songs in the catalog and the dub plate songs that I was doing before. And just start getting more and more play out, and my first, I think, Dirty Cup crew was solidly formed now as, the DJ crew with, well, I keep saying RIP, but RIP Mr. Chicken. And Daddy Gun and Kid Corrupt, Lugaman and Massey Kid. We were touring around, getting little shows, like Guinness had us on shows in Maypen and Clarendon and down St. Thomas. Just road shows where the truck would park up and we'd go up on top of the truck and DJ. And just start getting more and more popular, and more producers requesting, and more sound people requesting. And then I think the first time I went away was for Renaissance Sound System in Miami. And that started kick off the foreign. This was about 1997. And then 98, it was a year where I think I can safely say from 98, I've been a trad. Honestly, it's been a whirlwind of decisions to make. Should I take this song, this rhythm to do? Should I take this show to do? Should I take this collab to do with this other artist and thing? One of the earliest collabs I did was with Mr. Vegas. We were 2 of the youngest spoken about artists, and Flabba wanted us to do a song on his rhythm. And we went down there, and at the time, Monster Shock was recording. And me and Vegas was outside just building our next tune. And him say, "Yo, Steely, have a big rhythm, and I come and go up there." And it's him carry me up a Steely. And we voice Chillalala, Hot Girl Today for Steely. And that one, kind of, pushed me up again after Black Sun. Started a lot of people just to more notice us. So then when the movie come down now, this is 1998, the movie
Belly.
Yeah, and so Hype Williams was directing the movie, and he said to Tony Kelly, who was his friend, "I want you to make the music for the Jamaican parts of the movie, and I want the 2 hottest young artists." And him just called me, and him called Vegas.
Top shotter.
Yeah, that story now. Fully Loaded was a dance that keep every year, a big dance, as you know. And I went every year except for this year. I'd stayed at the studio, and my brother them come from the dance, from playing out there. I say, "Yo, the dog DMX is out there," and I was like, "What?" And I vexed now, so I never go because I didn't want to see him at the time. DMX in 1998, DMX released 3 albums throughout the year, and it was the hottest artist in the world, I can say. Each album went over 1 million copy within the first week. And that's 3 albums in 1 year. So it was really a hot artist. And the next morning I wake up and Tony Kelly called me and said, "Yo, you're going to do a tune with Vegas and DMX." And I was like, "Damn."
Whoa.
So we reached to the studio and do that one, and then that carry me to our next level again. So everything is levels, you know what I mean? And looking back at all the steps, I don't regret nothing. Even messing up dub plates down at Arrows for the first couple of times, people will be like, Ah, boy. God, when you
Hold that going. Tell us about that.
No, I don't even remember the sound, but I just remember that when you do mess it up, them have to scratch off that part of the plate and turn over the plate and say, all right, go on again and don't make no mistake. So, going through those little things teach you. You know what I mean? Your brain gets shocked into. It's either you're going to fail or you're going to fly. You know what I mean? So I was like, me not fail again, and it taught me to be able to, you know, do the thing. You know what I mean? Especially when I saw the greats doing it, like, as I said, Bujo, Beanie, Bunty, Spragga, all these people I looked up to. They were literally my same age, but I was just not as experienced as them. I mean, Beanie Man DJing from his 5 years old, you know what I mean? So, and I knew that, and I look up to them. So, yeah, that's a great journey up to that point. And yeah.
Get busy.
And then VP Records said to me, I don't think about doing an album. And I'd never ever thought of that before. They had me on a reggae gold compilation that they took me to Manhattan in New York to be at the album signing. Them time they used to go to Tower Records and fans come there and you sign. So they had two of my songs on there. And I apparently had many fans. People started to come up to me in the record shop, and I was, you know, amazed. And then after that, I decided, all right, let me try to put this album together. And I put it together for, I think 2001 is when it came out. And it sold more for VP than it ever sold for anybody else, which was just a big, than they had ever sold before. The biggest thing that they had sold before was probably 30,000 units, and then Stage 1 dropped, and it sold 75,000 units in the first week. And it was like, wow, that youth have a shot.
Was it at that point that you realized that, you are a star, you're on your way, you're making it? At what point in your career that you say, say this a work?
You know, when Muta play my tune from the radio, me feel away from them time there.
Yeah, okay.
But literally, and every step. I mean, I remember also Stone of 25th anniversary. I mean, it was the 21st anniversary. I was a dub plate artist with probably one or two songs out, and I really wanted to go into the stage show, and the line is long, and I heard them starting the stage performance part, and I wanted to get on early before the big heads, the big DJ them come out, and so I jump over the fence, and a guard stopped me and nearly beat me with him button, and some people see me and say, no, I'm the DJ, and them say, all right, cool, and them carry me through to the stage, and that was the infamous clash that happened with me and Junior Cat, who is my big brother in that business. And it wasn't really a clash, it was just like a lyrics for lyrics thing. But me never feel good about it, especially because I looked up to this brother, and all I did want to do was spit two lyrics, get a little reel and a little thing, and then come off, you know what I mean? So I ended up staying up there a long time more than I wanted to, but again, those things just kind of sticking your skin on it and teach you how to be versatile more and these type of things. So, yeah, after that time, the album come out, as I say, and then by that time I'm a big artist and touring a lot, going away every weekend, doing tours with Mr. Vegas and Tanta Metro and Devante all over the States. I mean, we did many tours, and I'm not sure if people know in Jamaica, but when you have a hit song that is hitting more outside of dancehall, the radio stations abroad kind of take advantage, and you have to do a lot of free show for them. I can remember one summer doing 19 free show, like 19 show the whole summer. We just go through on a tour bus, 19 different venues, 19 different states. From Miami, go straight up to Washington, Atlanta, go straight up to, New York and Connecticut and Boston and all these places. And I start getting the understanding of touring life and appreciation for people who have done it before me, especially a man like Bob Marley, who didn't have a cushy tour bus with a bed and TV on it. The man did Babylon by bus, literally. So I started getting a way bigger appreciation for what this music was, and seeing the numbers of people. I always thought it was huge when I went to play water polo in the different countries, Puerto Rico and in Orlando and in Mexico. I would go to to the clubs after the competition done and hear them playing the regular thing them that everybody play on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
And what was big, like the big pop song them and the hip hop song them and stuff. And then they would be playing dancehall, which wasn't playing on any radio. And that just gave me an indication from them time. They say, yo, this music big.
Mm-hmm.
Even though people don't play it or not play on the MTV them and whatever. I know so people know this music and love this music and emulate it themselves, like people from Panama making over Shabba songs and Costa Rica as well, and that started the whole early reggaeton movement. And so, as I said, that gave me an indication the music was huge.
Mm-hmm.
And I started to record for just different producers. I have big up Jammies, and War 21. I have big up, as I said, Steely and Clevey and people like Tony Kelly. All these people recorded me, and then I ended up becoming brethren with a youth named Zumje, who introduced me to Jalenks.
Mm-hmm.
Lenky. Everybody used to call him Reggae Jesus back in them day. Kind of had long hair and thing, and him play. He's one of Buju Banton's band members, which is a very talented person, you know. And I remember recording that song, and thinking, boy, I don't know about how the melody sound and thing, and because it seemed kind of influenced it, you know, the way how the melody went, and boy, that tune took off. You know what I mean? The whole juggling took off. It was a huge juggling. Also, Give Me the Light was about the same time I had written it just before, and I was singing about the things that I was seeing in these clubs every week, that I was going to New York and Boston, flying back and forth, and seeing people bust Baklamo, and you know what I mean, and the girl in front of me and thing, and I start freestyling these lyrics, and that song then will come out to be one of the biggest songs, those two songs on that album. So,
because the Sean Paul Jeremy Harding collaboration created, you know, like you would have alluded to, some historic moments in music for you personally and the genre. You know, with the creation of Dirty Rock that was certified multi-platinum and, you know, featured the mega hits like you mentioned a while ago, Give Me the Light and Get Busy and Beyonce's Baby Boy collaboration. How did this period of your life impact your journey on the road to success?
You mean with Jeremy Harding?
With Jeremy Harding, and because here it is now, it was getting big, and then it just got really bigger with, you know, selling platinum, and
you know, at one point Jeremy saw me with the studio phone in one hand, I'm my early cell phone them in the next hand, and I was answering calls and trying to keep dates for. I was the one trying to remember. Say, yo, we have this dance for go or this barbecue for go as Dirty Cup crew. And one day, you know, I was supposed to be recording a rhythm, and it was just the producer for me at the time. And I see him just kiss him teeth and get up and take one on the phone and from me and say, yo, this is Sean manager. Him can't do that right now, here. He might concentrate on something else. Rain check on the booking. He will do our next show, but he can't do that show there. Hang up.
Whoa.
Look for me and say, I just going to tell people I'm your manager for right now to help you out, yeah? Because him sister, it did stress me out. And honestly, it was just like a brother thing, you know. And up to this day, still, I mean, he's not my manager anymore, but we're still linked. And I see him as somebody who just has a very, probably a different outlook, and also very, 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 very talented in music and production. And we would speak about music and popular music in, you know, in the earth, what was going on and what happened before, and so it was like a nucleus for me, like a class, you know what I mean? It was growing, and then when it blew up internationally, like after a while, we like kind of Belly Vibes, and then doing songs like Give Me the Light. He had just taken over and become real my management, and we started to do that in that respect, you know. So it was a great learning experience from him, I mean, especially because he was one of the first people in Jamaica producing with a computer. Steele and Cleaver was doing it as well, but he had some new kind of equipment which took it to a different level, and people were still using tapes to record, and he was using the digital thing them, and I was like, wow. So I learned a lot from him, just as a person too, and it was a good vibe, you know what I mean? So I don't know, the years them kind of jumble up to me right now, because you were talking Get Busy and Give Me the Light, and we're talking Deport Them and Hot Girl Today. Those are my 4 biggest songs when it hit about 2002. You know what I mean? Like those were, or 2003, I would say. And those are 4 songs in my catalog that I had to DJ and thing like Glue, Get Busy, not Temperature, but Like Glue, Get Busy, and Give Me the Light, and Infiltrate. Those songs were like the top songs for me, you know? So I kind of don't remember the exact
year.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It's cool.
I know I said Deport Them and Hot Girl was on the first album, and then Give Me the Light and Get Busy was on the second album, which that blew up. Instead of selling 75,000 the first week,
getting a Grammy.
Yeah, it sold millions and Grammy and those things I never ever dreamt of. Like, I just wanted to be able to write a song that Jamaican people would say, "Hey, that body in bad." You know what I mean? That's it. That's the furthest of where I really thought to. I didn't really think past that. I just thought I want to continue as far as I can go, as long as I can go, and probably not be known as a one-hit wonder. I just want to continue.
And you are one of the most decorated dancehall entertainers. You are a multiple MOBO Award winner, Grammy winner, multiple Soul Train Award winner, MTV Awards, MTV Video Music Awards, ASCAP Rhythm and Soul Music Awards, American Music Awards, the International Reggae and World Music Awards, and the Source Awards, among countless others. Now, with so many accolades, have you self-actualized? And if not, what's next?
Yeah, even though, as I said, those years, and I keep using the word whirlwind because you feel like it's not happening to you. You know what I mean? You honestly, like, I didn't feel like it was happening to me. I'd been 6 years in a row standing up in the crowd in Sting watching the DJ them and saying, next year I'm that. In my head, next year I'm going to be up there. Next year. And it took, as I said, from age of 17 till about 21 to even record a proper song that was people's put out. So a couple of years well, you know what I mean? And so when it actually started to happen on the whole, I remember the American Music Award I win against Justin Timberlake and Kanye West. And I collect the award, I said what I said, and I come off. And the first person when I come off was Paris Hilton and say, "Hey, come to my party after." I'm gonna say, "All right." Like I didn't even know that world I was in. You know what I mean? And the first thing I do is go backstage, and there was a bathroom. I'm gonna go there and wash my face with cold water. Wash my face, and looking at the mirror. I say, "You this, bro? You this out?"
Whoa.
You know what I mean? It felt surreal. And now I'm more used to the fact. But still, there's some things that happen, just by people telling me, "Yo, my little daughter, 3-year-old, loved this song," or, my mom, who is near 70, loved that song. And everything that still feels special to me. You know what I mean?
You know what I want to ask you, because the uptown versus downtown is a card played in our society for decades, and I think you have shown people your versatility, that you're talented and all of that, and many sometimes believe this whole stereotype that if you're uptown then you get ahead faster than others. What's been your reality? Because you've alluded to some of it, that it wasn't easy for you coming up.
Yeah, in most things in life, people who are from that type, that place in society, mid to upper class, they do have privileges. They do have difference in treatment, but not in this business for me. That was something that I think I stood out because people was like, them have to turn them head and say, him sing that? What? And kind of check it out. But it wasn't an easy thing. I mean, as I say, I remember voicing to Steely first, and he would stop me and bad me up. And say, hey boy, hey, big DJ boy now, man, take over back the line, man. I want to you, man. And
yeah,
thing that was frightening to me because it was Steely who I respected so much, and my other producers before wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? So I think I was just treated equal as everybody out there in the industry, but being this kid from where I am, people think that in the back of them head, and so it kind of was it made me stand out, but it was also a stumbling block for me to try to get over and show people that that's something wrong with the world. It's not wrong with me. Because if I was like that, or if I took advantage of those opportunities without trying to help others up the stepping stones as well, then it would be a different scenario. You could say about me that I didn't really give back, or I had an unfair advantage or things like that. But to me, I don't think I did. You know what I mean? As I said, this business is really the music that counts.
True.
It's really the music that counts and the works that you do. As they told me from the beginning, say, yo, is your last hit. You're as big as your last hit, bro. So no matter where you think you there, you always have to kind of come back and prove yourself. And I've seen it with many different artists over the years as well. To me, one of them is Capleton, where, songs like Woman Will Ocean Man from the beginning, and then tour in a few years after that. Left from Jamaica, go up and tour, and then, after that, more and more conscious songs and more things that prove year after year after year that this youth, this Virginia, have a lot to offer the culture. You know what I mean?
I don't know where the time run gone. Like, the time just run off, son. We're not even got in it yet. But you have some of the dopest collaborations ever with some of the biggest names in the industry, from the Rihanna to the Beyonce, DMX, you name it. But can you name your top 3 favorite collabs of all time and why?
Wow, the one
I know, right?
Well, maybe give you the 3. Of course, Beyonce is in there. It was my first number 1 that I was involved in. And her being such a huge star and such a talented person as well, I was really honored that they chose to do work with me, and also honored that they came to do dancehall. They never want me on freedom track. They wanted a dancehall track type thing. So that was a big, huge one to me. And up to this day, I still gain so much fans from that song that I still have that following from them time there. The second song I will say is Rihanna, and simply being because I really love her voice as an artist, and she was a young one that when I booked her up on tour, she was like, I really want to come Jamaica. A lot of people in life, they want to go to Africa. I want to come to Jamaica. I want to see Bob Marley Museum. I was like, you lie. Come then. You know what I mean? And I never think she would have taken me up on the upper, and that Christmas she just showed me and said, I'm coming.
Whoa.
And I was like, damn. So she come through, and up to that point, every other major collab that I had done, I would either have to just do it over the internet and send it, or I would have to go to them, to where they are. But she came to Jamaica, and, she go passa with me. She go Asylum at the time, Asylum nightclub at the time. She go in the street them. She eat pan chicken. She go Bob Marley Museum. She go beach. We go to go Helcha. We also go to Lime Key with her. We show her the place, you know what I mean? And then it was just by a matter of fact that we went to Don Carleone's studio and was listening to a couple of rhythms, and I started spitting the freestyle on one of them, and she's like, yo, this bad, and Cool Face was there, and everybody pitching, and a nice song came out, which actually didn't get no push from her record label or my record label, but it went to number 9 on the Billboard charts on the playlist. So I was very proud of that song too. And the fact that she came to Jamaica and experienced how we do things, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The third one now, I will say it's Rockabye.
Mm.
When I first did this song, I thought, I went to the studio with Clean Bandits to just for them to produce songs for me. And I did 2 songs with them. And them said to me, yo, before you leave, would you mind just spitting probably 8 bars on this? And when I heard it, I was like, what kind of song is it? You know what I mean? But it teaches me something, that songs don't have to be about just one topic, and it broadened my horizons, even in this late stage of my career. I think it was 2016 or 17 we recorded. And, even my brother, when he first heard it, he said, what a nice melody, but what you sing about that for? Like, that's crazy. And we just weren't sure of how big it would get.
Yeah.
But honestly, it kind of showed me, and it was easy for me to write the lyrics because my mom was a single mom at a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
And those were just coming from the heart, those lyrics. But it showed me that, more meaningful songs, again, I can do them, and people will appreciate them without trying to feel like I'm not hype enough for the crowd right now. And that song streamed billions right now. So big up to Clean Bandits, big up to Rihanna, and also to Beyonce.
And Sean, finally on the crunch, you're a father of 2 beautiful children, Levi and your daughter Remy, and you're also a husband. What's the best part about being a dad and a husband? And a husband, yeah.
With the drool and the spit up them and the poo poo and all of that. I mean, just all of that wipes away when you look into your son's eyes and you see yourself. You know what I mean? And your daughter, and she smile and you see her dimple.
Mm-hmm.
And you is no feeling like that. No feeling like that. That's a love that just can't change. It's a solid rock piece of love. So also, my wife has been with me forever. We've been through so much things, ups and downs, problems that me cause. And she sitting through me having to try mature,
mm-hmm.
and holding the faith for me with me is something to be said about her character. So, love her to the ground and love my kids to the ground and my family, and I just wish that everybody could experience that. I know that some people's reality is not that, and it wasn't my reality for a long time. And that I've found that, which is real, true, solid love. It's a great thing in my life, and it sets all the other problems aside. You know what I mean?
Just awesome.
Everything that has to do with negativity, I kind of like, I'm moving more and more away from them things there. Especially because I kind of teach my son now and my daughter, no, you can't do that, you will hurt yourself, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
The things that I used to ignore and be like, me all right, man. Now I'm thinking to myself and about the whole culture itself and what I do and where I sit in this culture too. Kind of, it show me, it's helping me to become more conscious, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I was already a conscious person, I was not probably projecting it enough, and now I'm trying to project it more and more.
Awesome. And we see through your Sean Paul Foundation that you continue to give selflessly. How important is service to you?
It's very important, you know what I mean? People like my mother served us as kids all our life in terms of being that single mom, always trying to be there as a father and as a mother to us. And so that's kind of embedded in me from my early years of her kind of being that servant to us. And right now, I am a servant to my kids. And also just helping out where I can. I've always tried to do that. Sometimes in the choir, and sometimes it's publicized. But on a day-to-day basis, honestly, I feel like I've been blessed. And on a day-to-day basis, I help out people who just are having a hard time today. It's an ongoing thing, and it's not something that I think will ever stop, and it's not something that I will ever get tired of, because, as I say, to serve is, to me, better than to be served. So, just like with music, I want to serve people music. I want to make music, and I don't want to always just be receiving music from somebody else. So even down to that level, I feel service, you know what I mean?
Awesome. Sean, thank you so much for sharing. We absolutely need a part 2 because there's so many aspects that we didn't get to touch.
Definitely. Enough love, and thank you for the time.